There it is. Excellent. You know that sign's going to come up, and you just kind of wait for it. And there it is. Well, we'll wait a couple more minutes so I don't repeat everything here, but do appreciate people taking time out of their day and coming. It's pretty cold here. I don't know about the rest of Nebraska-Iowa, but I imagine you're pretty cool over there too.
34 degrees and a light, brief snow shower.
34 is a lot warmer than I thought, maybe.
Yeah. It's been in the 30s all day, and there was a real brief shower that came through. I don't know. I mean, just wet the streets. The streets are a little white, but nothing serious.
I think we were in the 20s today. I didn't get outside very much, but it's headed downhill right now. And the colder air is going to be in here tomorrow. We go to 10 below wind chill. So it's going to be a little chilly for tomorrow. Then weekend's not so bad around here. It'll be 20s.
We're going to be up in the 50s on Saturday here.
Holy cow. We're going to move to Nebraska.
Yeah, we know how to live right, you know.
Sometimes, huh?
Well, Jim, I was so optimistic when you called me today. I was actually right on the edge of going to the car wash. I mean, so I washed both of my cars today.
Mine, I wish mine.
Yeah.
Doesn't do any good here. It just gets sloppy right away. So I don't know, but
But it feels so good to get it washed, Jim. You know,
it does. It does.
And now they're in the garage and they're fine, and I won't drive anywhere tonight. So I see my other Don has a cat, or is that a dog? I can't tell. I only see part of it, Don. Ah, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. All right.
Well, I'm not going to stall here much more. Let's go ahead and get started, and people that come along can join us. And I want to say welcome to everybody. We've done this in the past. It's been 2 or 3 years since we've had a sort of a general meeting, and I tried to give a little more lead time. And so I want to thank Lisa for getting it out in both the December and January newsletters. And we've received a pretty good turnout. The other night we had 25 or so on the call. Maybe tonight or might get to 12, 13, 14. I did send the agenda out and and also a list of participants. So if you haven't seen that, that's probably in an email somewhere. And the idea is try to keep the first part moving pretty fast and let you get into a discussion group. And then we'll see who's all here, and you guys can introduce yourselves and what city, what school, what district you are part of. And you'll find that we have some guests coming from outside the Nebraska-Iowa district, like Lisa, who is from Bahamas. So thanks for making it, Lisa. We're glad to have you back. So anyway, I think the first up is just the news. And what I want to celebrate is we have one brand new club that's represented here by Jerry Baumgardner, who is an advisor for the West Branch Middle School. And we have one club to be, as I understand it. And Dawn is on from Ogallala Big Mac, and they are trying to get organized so that they start a new builders club in our only club in the other time in the in Rocky Mountain time zone. So
Nice.
that is a neat distinction, and I'm thrilled that you guys are starting a builders club out there. So that's the big news. I want to encourage all the rest of you, if you are aware of a club near you that would like to get involved with Builders Club or K-Kids or any of the SLPs, we have lots of resources to help. We have lots of experienced people that just have all sorts of good ideas. So I will help connect you, answer a few questions, maybe talk your ear off more than you want, but I mean, I'll try to hold myself back a little bit. But I'm really excited about SLPs. I've been a advisor of K-Kids Club for a dozen years. We are currently COVID restricted. We are not meeting. We can't even step inside the school. So we have a whole whole wide, plan from people that are just like, meeting business as usual versus those that are stopped. And I did do a survey. I went and called most of the builders clubs anyway. And I learned, I think out of the 31 clubs, we have about 17 that are actively meeting. And the rest of them are various stages, either prevented by COVID or they're taking a year off, or maybe the school district said not this year. But so a little bit better than 50% of our clubs are active. The next thing I want to talk about are the LaRue grants. And this is a new thing we started a couple months ago. And I want to encourage you guys. The West Branch Area Club has already taken advantage of it. It's designed to help any club that is starting. It'll go a third or a quarter of the way toward the fee to get a club started. I think it's $400 without the banner, $600 with all the extra equipment for a builders club, and it's $300 for a K-Kids club. We have 10 of these $100 grants. Now, if you don't start a new club, there are still opportunities. We're looking for innovative ways that a builders club or a K-Kids club might use that money, maybe in a joint project with the Kiwanis Club, or it might be, maybe they're doing a fundraiser of something that's a little bigger than what they are, and they could use an extra $100. But this is just, the form is on the website. Go to a Nebraska-Iowa website. I'm sorry, Lisa, and anybody outside the district. It's just Nebraska-Iowa people, but we are very fortunate. We had a former or past district governor that passed away, and he left us money to the district, and we decided, and SLPs were important to him. We decided we wanted to encourage SLPs. So that's the LaRue grants. I also want to mention to you that there are awards and recognitions through Kiwanis International. They're up on the Kiwanis International, on the Builders Club site and the K-Kids site. If you go to the, it's just awards and recognition. I think it's under resources. I can't remember, but you should be able to search for it and find it. Lisa Pyron is the Kiwanis International K-Kids Builders Club advisor, and I met with her this afternoon, and she's highly encouraging people to participate in those things. It's sort of nice to get that recognition, but also it lets her know what's going on out in the boonies, and that's one of the ways she finds out. So finally, I want to mention that there are actually two more things. K-Kids Week and Builders Club Week are the exact same dates, except 1 month apart, 21st through the 25th. February 21st, 25th is K-Kids Week. March 21 to 25th is Builders Club Week. I know my K-Kids Club, when we are meeting, we make a big deal about this. We have 5 committees in our club. We give each committee one day that they're in charge of, and there's Random Acts of Kindness Day, Kiwanis Family Day, there's Thank You to the Helpers Day. Each day has sort of a theme. Kiwanis International really doesn't care if you celebrate exactly on those days, but they would like to encourage you to celebrate. Make a big deal about it in your school, make some posters, make some announcements, get the word out. And I think you'll encourage more participation in the club, and the parents will probably appreciate it a little bit too. So just wanted to let you know that's coming up. Kiwanis International would like it if you do post anything on social media, that you do use the hashtag #Build Club or #K-Kids Club. That way they will see it and it'll show up, and they can also track it that way. So I am going to now turn it over to Linda Plotzek, and Linda has been a advisor, I think, both K-Kids and Builders. I'm guessing, I can't remember, at least K-Kids for a long while, but she is also our youth protection manager, and she has some really important things to highlight. So Linda, you're muted.
Good evening, everyone. Glad to be with you tonight. And I appreciate Jim giving me a few minutes to talk about youth protection guidelines. First of all, I want to say thank you for being a part of our SLP families. Our youth out there are definitely looking for some great, exciting things to do with their peers as well as with adults from the community. So I compliment you on that. I also want to compliment you on the fact that you've done a darn good job of compliance with the Kiwanis International background checks. You're paying attention when they send you that reminder, and so you're getting that done. And so I'm really pleased about that. Now, once in a while, we have somebody who just forgets, or their position has changed in the group. So they're no longer an advisor, but KI doesn't know that. So then it's necessary for the club secretary to step in, remove that person's name, and put the new person who will be handling that for their club onto the official, into the secretary's monthly report. So then KI knows, oh, it's not John Smith anymore. Now it's Susie Q who's doing this. So keeping those records up to date is really helpful. Other thing I want to just briefly say is I'm happy to report, now, and this is a knock on wood thing, that I have not, in my 4 years of doing this, had a call from someone who feels like we were in this situation and we made this choice, and now it turns out that wasn't the right thing to do. That means you're using our Iowa, Nebraska common sense. You're thinking about choices. You're familiar with the policies that KI has created for youth protection, and you're using common sense to put those in place when working with youngsters. You know, it's those simple things, whether you're in a school or when you're in like in a boys and girls club setting. One thing I always tell people, and I get a lot of, I used to get people going, uh-oh, was only use adult restrooms. And they'd say, well, but it's closer. And I said, I don't care. It's not a good setting for you to be in a youngster's bathroom. You're setting yourself up for anything. So common sense, protect yourself, protect the kids, protect your club, protect the good name of Kiwanis. Same thing in the car, that transportation issue. Now, sometimes I'm doing K-Kids, okay? And my experience has been sometimes at the end of the meeting, there's like one child left who hasn't been picked up and can't reach anybody on a phone. And so it would be easy for me to say, oh, you just live around the corner. I'll give you a ride home. And that'd be so nice. But I don't do that because I don't have permission to have that child in my car. And I'm a Kiwanian, I'm not a school person. So typically I've had teachers say, oh, John, I'll take you home. You think somebody's there, do you have a key or whatever? But I won't put myself in that position. The school people have a little different way of framing this, or staff at a Boys and Girls Club. So that makes it a little better for them to handle that. Again, don't put yourselves in those positions and just use good common sense about the whole thing. We've had some questions about chaperone, and I'm going to say chaperone in the sense of if you're running a builders club or K-Kids, you don't want to be in that setting by yourself. You want another adult there. Now, the school I work in, the district requires that a school's person, a certified teacher, is in that setting with me, which is wonderful. Another set of hands, someone who knows the kids. It's a plus all around. But we don't want to be in a situation where we're continuously in a setting where it's just you and 12 kids or 15 kids or more. If you find yourself in that situation, the school just kind of thinks, oh, that's fine. You go to that principal who set this up and okayed this school and say, our Kiwanis guidelines say, I need a certified person from your school staff in here or another staff member. It doesn't always have to be a teacher. It can be someone who serves in another role, a counselor, a paraprofessional, but I'm not by myself. And there's a million reasons not to be by yourself with a group of children. Kids get sick, kids need to go to the restroom, whatever it might be. And sometimes little people don't behave so well. So having a person there who knows the little customers I'm working with is very helpful. So I just want to end by saying, if at any time you do have questions or a concern about a situation maybe that's coming up, don't hesitate to email me or give me a call. All my contact information is in the leadership directory, whether it's the paper copy or online, and I'm happy to work with you. It's always better for us to plan rather than have to clean up after a mess has been made or an issue has been created with a parent, a child, because you know immediately the media is involved and all world. So planning ahead and getting your questions answered is really critical to our success. And so, Jim, I'm going to turn it back over to you because I think I've said everything I need to say to these fine folks tonight.
Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you taking time and coming on and helping to guide us. And if we have a little time at the end, I might ask you a little bit about that Praetorium training. Have you gone through it and your thoughts? And then, but we'll do that at the end. And the other question that I might have you think about is some guidelines on doing social media with kids and what best practices of that. But let's save that to the end too. So can you stay around? Hopefully. Yes. Okay. All right. Excellent. All right. We're going to now break into our breakouts. We were going to have 3, but we don't have enough people to really fill out 3. So we're going to do 2 groups. And my moderator for the service and fundraising isn't here. We'll sort of cover that probably in both the other groups, but especially in the Managing Builders Club group, which is where I'm going to be going. Sandy Shyness is going to be working with club building. And if you have questions about, getting a club started or the first steps, after a club is started, that would be an excellent place. She said she'd help start 3 clubs, something like that. So she plenty, very experienced there. You otherwise come to my room. We'll talk about Managing Builders Club, but we'll also talk about service and fundraisers and everything there. So we're gonna, I think, I'll turn over to Lisa. You want to explain how we're going to do this?
That was good, Sandy.
It seemed like it went fast.
No, it does. Always does.
Open my window there again. No, didn't look like we went anywhere.
They're all coming to join us now.
Well, it said time to leave, so.
Maybe they are. No, there's
There
Lisa.
There's she. We
We thought
thought we were
nobody was
lost.
going to join us.
I
We were lost
gave you
in
the 2
computer
minutes and then
la-la
I said,
land.
that's it, close the rooms, everybody back.
Yeah.
We don't have anybody else. Oh,
Sorry.
there we go.
Here they come.
Mm.
If you didn't see, Lisa had put comments in since we couldn't hear her. And she said the biggest challenge was the transition to Builders Club, that they just lost interest at Builders Club stage. So basically reiterating what you had said, Sandy, I think.
Yep. Those middle schoolers, they get into a situation where they have a smorgasbord of things to go and pick from.
Mhm.
And they're all excited about everything.
And their parents are putting them in 20 sports. So yeah. How do you choose another sport?
And they go
Yeah.
from track or football to track to baseball or basketball. I mean, they go from one to the other. And so,
Well, we finally joined you guys. Tamara came right at the very end, and so we were just hearing a little bit about Huntsville, Arkansas. And but in our group, I think we had maybe more K-Kids experience than we had. Mary Ann Lundy is a Builder Club advisor, but Linda and I are more K-Kids, and so we were sort of talking both ways. But I don't know if I can summarize very well. Mary Ann said that her crew's down, her club's down to about 19 right now, 19 to 25, and they've had more, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's COVID that's kind of preventing them from getting involved. We're working on projects for holiday cards for vets and homeless scarves. And if I say something wrong, Mary Ann, jump in.
You're doing great.
Project for the animal shelter. And Linda was telling me about her K-Kids Club. Of course, they have her club, which is Golden K, I think, over in Omaha, sponsors 3 K-Kids Club, and all 3 are very active from what I understand.
Mhm.
And they're meeting she's at Conestoga, and you said you've only been able to meet 3 times so far this year, something like that. Been
Yes,
having
we
trouble.
got started this semester. We just got started in
And
semester finally, but we're going to make up for it.
sounds like it. You're doing Valentine's and Kids Can. I think it's a kind of a service-oriented organization.
It's a collective. It's a collective for after school place for kids to go. It's free for parents in our high poverty schools in Omaha. The kids leave class at 4 o'clock. They come down, they have quote dinner, they have a meal, and 30, they're ready to go off to an activity. So on Monday, I'm the activity 3rd and 4th graders. They come to me for K-Kids.
Oh, very good. Very
We're
good.
just having a good time.
And you talking about Keep Omaha Beautiful. You're trying to gear up for that,
Yeah,
which is what part of Earth Day?
They are so committed to in the environment and the beautification. Of course, it all started with a zillion years ago with beautification of our world. And so they have lots of resources available to work with our kids. And so we're going to do some modules on reusing and recycling. And then we'll also do some all school activities for Earth Day, which gets the kids so excited. And then we'll wrap up the year. We'll probably do a grounds cleanup. We're going to plant some perennials in the school garden out front, things like that. We just keep moving.
Well, anyway, we got into talking a little bit about fundraisers and the differences between schools. And so Mary Ann Lundy's in a system where they don't allow any fundraisers unless you're the Booster Club, and they haven't been able to connect with the Booster Club. And Linda's in a pretty high poverty area, and so their money comes from their club foundation that they get grants, and I'm not quite sure how you use the money. Was that to buy books or something? I forget what that money was for, Linda.
We used our money one year to buy the material for the fleece blankets that we then presented to Open Door Mission for kids. Kids love doing that kind of an activity. I did all the prep work, and so did the school advisor, because she'd done these before. And once the kids got into it, they're like, oh, we did this at church one time, or, so, and then we had the folks from Open Door Mission come over, and the kids presented them with these adorable blankets, and the kids were like, I really want to keep this one for me. I said, listen, if I can find some material, I'll make you one. So don't worry about it. But engage them, and we don't get into any fundraising at all. It's just doesn't work well in our particular high poverty neighborhood. I don't want to have to deal with it as the advisor and neither does the school. So it's not a problem for us. Like I said, our club foundation will give us grants. And as the advisor, as a former educator, I'm used to chipping in a few bucks here and there.
So anyway, then our club, my K-Kids Club, fundraising is a big deal. I mean, it's always a fun thing that involves the whole school. The last 2 years ago, we did a penny wars, which was sort of fun because the kids really got into it, and we did it by grade levels, and there would be 2 or 3 first grades and 2 or 3 second grades. So we would put all the grade levels together so that they could accumulate. But the grade level that had the most pennies then got popsicles at the end of the year. We actually gave it for first and second place. I think first place we did something else. But the neat thing was that you got points, you got 1 point per penny, but if you put a quarter into the jar, whoever's jar, the quarter counted a -5 points. So if you're in another grade level and you didn't like the fact that the third graders were getting ahead of you, you could start putting quarters in there, and it got a little bit wicked.
Awesome.
But the first graders won, it was just incredible that the first graders won. And part of what we explained to them is that all the money that they raise is given away, just like every other Kiwanis club. But the ground rules for the K-Kids was that half the money that they raised went to a nonprofit that served kids locally. The other half went to a nonprofit that served kids overseas. And we didn't care what they decided, but they had to research the nonprofits that they were interested in, present that to the rest of the club. Then the whole club voted on where that money went. And they were so proud then when that recipient would come and they would get a big check, and because the kids knew what went behind it. And invariably, like I told the people in my room, the animal shelter won. They always wanted to give to the animal shelter, but it was their decision, so that's just fine. So I sort of got there a little bit with Tamara. You want to explain a little bit about what you guys do for projects and fundraisers?
Well, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Our philanthropic organization, we donate to Arkansas Children's Hospital. And for the last 2 years we worked, and because of COVID, we couldn't make our presentation. So last spring we were able to give them a check for $2,000.
Wow.
And what we do to fundraise is and y'all are going to love this, we do a raffle a basket is what we do. We have a basket and we ask all of our parents of our kids to donate something into that basket. And we have this huge big gift basket. And last year it was like a $600 value by the time we were through. We had spent like $100 at Amazon on fishing supplies and stuff so that there was some men's stuff in there. And we sold $1 raffle tickets. And yeah, we ended up raising right at $1,500 on that one little project. And that's become kind of our niche. That's what we do. We started a new thing this year. The kids wanted to do, we called them festive fizzies. We sold pop. We got approval from the school for one of our food days. We sold Santa Claus's Cola, Grinch's Mountain Dew, Dasher's Dr. Pepper. It made cute little labels and little fuzzies to put on them. Sold them for $1 a can, delivered them to the kids' homerooms. We ended up selling over 300 of them. And it was fun and we didn't compete with anybody because like a lot of the other organizations do crushes at Valentine's Day. So we do a couple of little things like that, but our basket is our big fundraiser. But everything that we raise goes to Children's Hospital.
Excellent. Sandy, did you get covered on your room what you discussed?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I got
It
in
went
here a
so
little late.
fast.
Yeah, it did go awful fast. You bet. So,
Um,
well, yeah, go ahead.
Did you want me to, kind of explain some of that or?
Yeah, just summarize a little bit. That was kind of my
Okay.
plan here to summarize what you guys discussed.
Well, the number one question was, how do you start a club? In Ogallala, they're trying to start that new club. And we kind of went through the first steps. First is your club support. You need to get your club behind it, get the administration at the school behind it, work with them to find a faculty advisor, and then have a meet and greet with the kids, or like set up a table in the hallway or go to an open house to get them excited and ready to join. And maybe if you have a key club like they do in Ogallala, I think that'd be a great opportunity for that key club to get involved in starting the club, the Builders Club, and even getting them involved in a project right away. So,
You
you
bet.
get that warm and fuzzy feeling from doing a project, you're in for life, right, Don? Mr. Governor, right?
That's right.
Well, I'm gonna say that our K Kids Club is co-sponsored by our Circle K. So maybe a Key Club could co-sponsor the Builders Club.
That'd be a good idea. And then there was discussion that a couple of us, I think everybody recognized it, that your K Kids is really easy to get started, and the kids are all excited, but they're used to having a couple of choices to pick from or just be told what to do. And then those
Yeah.
same kids get over to middle school, and all of a sudden they've got band and chess club and student council and sports and more sports and just this wide array of things to get involved in, and they're just going gaga. And so it's hard to get them to settle down and join a club. But here again, I think if you had a key club or something, you've got them involved, that would help a lot. And let's see, what else was there? Well, and then Jerry was talking about how they're getting a charter party going, but we didn't really get back to that, Jerry. Did you have more questions about that?
No, not right now. No.
Okay. Well, I told him if you can't get a hold of you, Jim, he can any of them can just give me a call or an email or something, and I'll help him out as much as possible.
I'll see him at a club meeting. Not a big deal.
And I think that was about it. Don, do you remember anything else? Mr. Governor Don?
That covered it pretty nicely. The key piece is having the school faculty's advisor sponsor. That's a critical component, and really makes or breaks the program.
Did you want to say anything? We're about ready to wrap up here, Don.
Well, I reaffirmed with Mike in my room to apply for the LaRue money because we really would like to use that. It's not huge dollars, but it's seed money. And I told my room that I'm one of the decision makers on those grants. So,
a cup of coffee or maybe a little whatever.
just the fact they were attending tonight, there you go.
There you go. There you
You
go.
got to step up right there. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I'll add my similar sentiment that thank you for coming. We tried to keep it moving. I hope we addressed most everything. Anyway, I wanted to say that we probably will have a follow-on forum maybe in March or early April, and I'm looking for ideas. I was going to talk to Tamara about her Facebook page that they have down at Huntsville, Arkansas Middle School. It's fabulous. And what are the do's and don'ts about doing a Facebook page? And maybe Facebook is not what middle school kids go to. Maybe it's something else, but I don't know those answers. And maybe Linda needs to be part of that discussion. So I will be sending out a survey. Look for that. I appreciate your comments, especially if you got some ideas about what to do in the future. Sandy.
I Just wanted to show everybody that LaRue grant is not even a whole page long.
Oh, wow.
It's a real simple application.
It
Got
is.
that, Dawn from Ogallala? LaRue
Yes.
grant, $100 in your pocket.
I
Dawn,
already emailed
Governor
it to,
said,
I already emailed it to our president and to Joe Brown too. So we'll get it going. I guarantee that.
And maybe West Branch will submit for a second if nobody else takes the money. I don't know. We'll see what happens. No, I'm just kidding. No, we won't do that. I never heard from Lisa. Did you get a chance to talk a little bit? Yeah. Very good. Well, I want to thank everybody. You can hang on here. We got the room for another, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, but we're pretty much done, and we don't necessarily need to keep Lisa here all that long. So, okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.